In the D2Apps Documents environment, you have some buttons, so I want to quickly go through those and show you how each of those work. I'm going to skip the Share button for a future tutorial that focuses on sharing documents and folders. However, let's look at the rest of the buttons. The very first button is a lot of people think it's not a button, but it actually is. It's a pop-up menu, a button for a pop-up menu. And so here's how it works. When you click on it, you can say select all or select none. So if I didn't have anything selected, I wanted to select everything, maybe put that into a folder or do something with it, I simply click on that and say select all. The converse is true. If everything's selected, I need to deselect it all. I just come over and say select none. So that's what that button does for you. Now let's say I've got some documents that I want to move to a folder. I've been uploading a collection of documents or creating a collection of documents, and now I need to organize everything. I want them to appear in folders. So what you can do is you can select the items that you want to move, and then you come over to the folders, and this is a button that is a drop-down menu, and you select the folder that you want to move it to. Now remember from the previous tutorials, you can create subfolders. So I just clicked on this little triangle here that expanded my folder to show me the subfolder. And this is actually where I want these two documents to go. So there's a little button right here immediately to the left of the folder. You select that, and then you have to come down and say Apply Changes. So what this button allows you to do is move the documents you've selected into folders that you've created. Notice you already have to have the folder created. You can't create the folder on the fly. So I'm going to click Apply Changes. Here's where that nice little Select None option comes into play. So I'll select None. Now I'm going to change my selection, and I have a document here that I've created that I no longer want to keep. So I'm going to select that document and choose Delete. That will take that document and put it into the trash. Now notice you get a little banner up at the top that says it's been moved to the trash, and you can quickly undo this if you need to. Or you can visit the trash to undelete it. But for all intents and purposes, it's gone. Now if I have a document that I've either uploaded or created and I forgot to name it, or it no longer makes sense to give it the name it has, I can rename that document. So you select the document and you click Rename, and it gives you a little edit box just like you would see on your computer with your files and folders. And so I just click inside that box, oops, and spell it correctly. Once I type the renamed document, I just hit enter on my keyboard, and you can see that document has now been renamed. It doesn't affect where it's been stored or any of those kinds of things. Since I have this document selected, I'll just jump over to the More Actions real quickly and show you some of the things that you can do. So, excuse me, depending upon the type of document you have selected, for example, I have a presentation document selected. So depending upon the type of document you have selected, your actions are going to be a little bit different. First of all, I can star this document. So if it's important, I want to be able to access it quickly, I can click star. Here's where I would hide the document. Again, an example I gave was if you're projecting your documents environment up on a screen in front of an audience, you might want to hide certain files. I can mark this document as viewed. If you look at my documents, you can see there are 2 documents that are bold and then 3 documents that are not bold. Just like in our email, a bold document means it's unread. So the only reason you would have a bold document is if somebody shared a document with you and you haven't opened it yet. So if I have something selected and I say mark as viewed, watch what happens. The bold is off. It's kind of like saying mark as read in my email. If I want to export this document down to my hard drive, down to my local computer, I would choose Export. I'll go into detail about that in a future tutorial. The next option that I have is to look at the revision history on this particular document. again, I'll go into detail about that in a future tutorial. Because I have a presentation document selected, I can view the presentation, excuse me, and I actually have this published online, so I could view the published document as well. You will see these options shown in more detail in a future tutorial as well. If I want to see some detail about the document that I have selected, I would click Show Details. So I'll show you what that looks like. What it's going to show me is a quick preview of the document itself. Let me actually walk through it and allow me to do a couple of other things. Open the document, print the document, or share the document out. Now, we have some, I'm just going to select none here so I don't, excuse me, have anything selected. We have a few more buttons to go through. So we can actually sort our documents by different methods. So I'm just going to show you that real quick. Another button is a drop-down menu. I can sort them by starred. That means the starred items will show up at the top. I can sort them by name, so they will show up in alphabetical order. I can sort them by last modified or last viewed. So in your documents environment, you can control a little bit how you are the order that you're viewing your documents in. Real quick note, you can also click on the heading. So if I wanted to view by name, just view by starred, view the folders and sharing, or by date, I can arrange simply by clicking on the headings as well. The final buttons I will show you are the review buttons, view buttons. I can view my content as a list, which is what I'm currently doing, or I can view it as icons or tiles, if you will. So I'll just show you what that looks like. I'm currently viewing it by icon or by tile, and I like this view because it gives you a little bit of a preview of what the document looks like, but I don't like this view because the thumbnails are so large you can't see a lot of documents at one time. So as you start to use your documents more and more, this view might not be handy for you. So I'm going to go back to the View menu and choose List, and you can see that now my items are viewed as a list. So those are the different buttons that you have available in your documents environment.